hope that we get together very soon. Okay? Well, this video is because I am going to give you a review about the topics for your common exam. Okay? Let's start. This video is for third grader students that really need to practice these topics for the common exam that we are going to have. The first thing that is so necessary is the times tables. As we practiced a lot of times tables at school, and now I really need that you practice with your parents or individual if you prefer. And in here, as you can see, we have that 1 times tables, 2 times tables, 3 times tables. From 0 to 10 is totally necessary that you learn them pretty well. Well, this is the first topic that we have right here. This is multiplying by 10. Multiplying by 10 is pretty easy. As I explained you at school, in here, for example, if this is a very simple multiplication, 1 times 10 equals 10. But what about when we have numbers like 14 times 10, or this that is bigger, right? 437 times 10. How can we know? How can we know the process to do it? Because as I told you before, it's pretty easy. Look at this first. Notice anything about the zeros? Why do you think that I have this question over here? It's because when we multiply by 10, we just multiply the first digits and we place the zero. For example, 1 times 1 equal 1. Then I place the zero. How many zeros I place? Just 1 because 10 just have 1 zero. Now, is this in here? Now, for example, 12. 12 times 10. I multiply 12 times 1 is 12, and I place 1 0 here, and my final product is 120. Here. Other example. For example, 7 times 10. I multiply 7 times 1 equals 7, and then I place or I move the 0 from 10. In my final product is 70. Okay? It's pretty simple. Just remember it, be concentrated, and let's work with this. Okay. About this, I have here an exercise for you, some exercises for you that I need that you help me to develop them. For example, 5 times 60. As I explained you before, I just multiply 5 times 6 is 30, right? And if I place one more zero, my final product is 300, correct? Correct. Now, 6 times 2 is 12. If I place one more zero, is 120. Nice. 5 times 50. I multiply 9 times 5 is 45. And one more zero, or if I place one more zero, my product is 450. The last exercise. Yeah, this is a very simple multiplication, but it's for explaining to you that this is simple, we do the same process, and in a difficult one, we need to make the same process too. Okay, in here we have 9 times, we have 2 times 10, right? 2 times 10. 2 times 10, 2 times 1 is 2, and if I place a 0, we have 20. You see, it's pretty simple. Now, another very useful topic is divisions. I have an example here, 12 divided by 2 equals 6, because 6 times 2 equals 12. When I talk about divisions, I need to use something that is called inverse operations. What's inverse operations is when I talk about the opposite. For example, if I have here divisions, my opposite or the inverse is multiplication. It's because I need to do it. For example, 12 divided by 2 is 6, but why is 6? Because 6 times 2 is 12. Let's make this exercise together. 10 divided by 2 equal? Correct, equals 5. But why? Because 2 times 5 is 10, correct. 4 divided by 2 equal 2 because 2 times 2 equal 4. In my last exercise, 8 divided by 2 is 4. But why 4? Because 4 times 2 equal 8. You see? It's pretty easy. Now, one important topic that we have in here is fractions. Fractions, I really need fractions because during our whole life, there are some situations that we need this knowledge to understand some things. Now, in a fraction, I talk about units. So, one unit can be one circle, one triangle. One unit can be one banana, one pizza, anything. In this case, to explain you, my unit is one circle. Now, when I have the full circle in here, I have 1. But what about if I want to divide that circle in equal parts? What is the process and what are the parts of these fractions that I get here? Look at this. This is my circle and I divide the circle into parts, but I just colored or just take or just shade one part. For that reason, my fraction is 1/2. 1/2. This 1/2 has two parts. As you can see here, the number up is numerator and the number down is denominator. The number up indicates the parts that I will take, indicates the parts that I will color, indicates the parts that I will shade, and the denominator indicates the parts and how many parts I'm going to divide the unit. For example, here, 1/2. Why 1/2? Because I color 1, look, but my unit is divided in 2. But I don't read 1, 2. No, I have the refraction as 1/2. Look at my third example. This is the same circle. Now, how many parts I color? 1 is here. And in how many parts is divided the unit? In 1, 2, 3, 4. For that reason, in here, I'm representing 1/4. 1/4. My numerator is 1 because it shows the parts that I take. My denominator is 4 because it is showing in how many parts I divide the unit. My last example is 3/4. 3/4, or I can say 3/4. 3 because I color 3 parts. And 4 because are the total of parts that I divide the whole unit. Okay. Now, in here, we are going to do 3 exercises, very simple, but I need your help. Look, this is the first, the second, and the third exercise. Look at the first. I need that you tell me what is the correct fraction for this picture. Is 1/3, correct. Why 1/3? Because 1 is the part that I take, and 3 is in how many parts the unit is divided. Look, 1, 2, 3. For that reason, this picture is representing 1/3. The next one, the second one. Let's do it together. In how many parts I have to take from a unit, or how many parts are colored? 1. And in how many parts is divided a unit? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, what's my fraction? Correct. It's 1/4. And the last, look, 1, 2, 3, I colored, but it's divided in 1, 2, 3, 4. It means that my fraction is 3/4. Numerator, denominator, numerator, denominator, numerator, denominator. Numerator, the parts that I take. Denominator, in how many parts is divided. Okay? Well, bye-bye. See you soon. Please take into consideration all the things that doctors and authorities are saying. I love you so much, and goodbye. Study. See you.